And so the sole survivor, who spent eternity frozen in Vault 111, ventured forth and changed the balance of power in the wasteland for years to come. Arthur Maxon's Brotherhood of Steel succeeded in their campaign against the Institute, destroying their headquarters and freeing the people of the wasteland from the synth scourge. Soon after, they marched into Diamond City and informed the people of the Institute's demise, although the people of the city did not yet realize what this meant for the Commonwealth. They were happy nonetheless. The War of the Commonwealth was over. Boston, Massachusetts, at long last, was orderly and secure. The sole survivor, invaluable to the Brotherhood of Steel, was granted the rank of Sentinel, the highest rank any Brotherhood soldier can achieve. Years later, the survivor headed an expedition to Vermont, seeking technology and hunting mutants.
Strong looked everywhere for milk of human kindness, but never found it.
Piper was happy that the Institute was finally defeated, letting the people of the Commonwealth sleep at night. What she didn't expect was the Brotherhood of Steel snooping around her office every time a new paper was written.
Upon finding out Paladin Danse was a synth, the sole survivor convinced Arthur Maxon to spare his life, scared of being killed, or even killing any Brotherhood soldiers. Danse remained at Listening Post Bravo, only leaving periodically for covert missions with the survivor.
Thanks to the survivor, Kate was cured of her chem addiction, finally able to see the Commonwealth clearly again. In addition, with the survivor's recommendation, Kate joined the Brotherhood, quickly rising in the ranks for her hatred of mutants and her expertise in hand-to-hand combat.
Good Neighbor was not granted the same protection as the rest of the Commonwealth. Although they weren't wiped out, many Brotherhood troopers viewed the ghouls as a danger. Hancock, however, didn't mind Good Neighbor's independence, but he did eventually part ways with the survivor, finding them becoming too militant for the carefree style of the town.
Thanks to the sole survivor, MacReady was able to obtain the experimental prevent and cure his son Duncan. But ultimately, MacReady left the Commonwealth, sick of Brotherhood rule.
With the Brotherhood's occupation of Diamond City, Nick Valentine was forced to move to Good Neighbor. The only thing that kept him alive was his initial help infiltrating the Institute. To the Brotherhood, he was nothing but a time bomb.
Deacon and the railroad were destroyed, their ways not suited to the harsh brutalities of the wasteland. Their headquarters in the Old North Church, only ever used by the occasional scavenger for shelter.
Codsworth remained at the side of his master, tending to his needs and the needs of the sanctuary settlers.
Preston Garvey and the remnants of Quincy remained at Sanctuary Hills. Preston dreamed of what the Minutemen could have been, but was ultimately satisfied by the Brotherhood's protection of the Commonwealth. Without big players like Bosco, Jared, Sinjin, and Slag, the Commonwealth Raiders were crippled. Many integrated into society as settlers or traders. Many headed west to find new gangs to join. The ones who remained were exterminated.
After the death of Jared, Corvea Assembly Plant was left abandoned for months. But as the Brotherhood expanded into Lexington, they took notice of the plant and used it to expand their vertibird and power armor manufacturing capabilities.
With the loss of Quincy and GNN, the gunners scattered into the wastes, losing their identity and merely becoming hired guns.
With Judge Zeller dead, Bunker Hill prospered for a short time. But this worsened slightly after the Brotherhood set up shop there. Traders feel a lot safer without the knowledge a giant death robot could hurl a nuke at them at any second.
Thanks to the sole survivor, Dr. Rosalind Chambers was allowed to continue research on the Covenant's safe test. Eventually, the test became advanced enough to be able to detect a synth with an accuracy of 99.1%. The Brotherhood of Steel wanted to annex Covenant and take their research, but after rumors surfaced about their relation to Vault 101, Maxon left them alone, out of a somewhat weird respect for a fallen brother.
Vault 81 slowly got less reclusive, and started interacting more and more with the outside world, developing a healthy trading network with Bunker and Diamond City. Curie, experiencing everything the wasteland had to offer, returned to Vault 81. The old Miss Nanny commonly told stories to children, Speaking of horrible green men and the vault dweller who stopped them. The ghouls beneath Longneck Lukowski's cannery were exterminated, and its machinery was improved by the technicians of Vault 81. People traveled far and wide for Trader Riley's canned meat.
The sole survivor retrieved and handed over the experimental FEV cure to Virgil. Years later, Virgil managed to turn the experiment into a working prototype that would cure 1 out of 3 super mutants if they originated from the right strain.
The sole survivor shut down Vault 88's experiments, claiming the vault for their own instead. Vault Tech would never gain forgiveness for Vault 111.
When looking through Dima's memory banks, the sole survivor found the location of the nuclear launch key. They then made a hard, but overall positive choice for the wasteland. The children of Adam, along with the nucleus, erupted into fire for all in Far Harbor to see. In the following weeks, the fog started to die down, allowing the harbor men to reclaim the island. But Captain Avery could never find peace in knowing how many lives were taken that day.
Alerted to their presence by the sole survivor, the Brotherhood of Steel wiped out all synths at Acadia. The fog condensers, as predicted by Dima, fell into disrepair, although this impacted little on Far Harbor. With the destruction of the nucleus and small amounts of aid from the Brotherhood, Far Harbor learned to live without Acadia's help.
Without much opposition, Far Harbor blossomed. The survivor taught the harbor that the mainland was not as vicious and unforgiving as they thought. With all the survivor did for Far Harbor, they reluctantly took their advice. But their caution was unfounded. They soon built relations with many of the northern settlements in the Commonwealth. Far Harbor quickly became a popular tourist attraction.
The Nuka World Raiders were wiped out, to the last man. The slaves were able to free themselves, but without a proper peacekeeping force in the park, they were commonly attacked by less competent raiders.
The Mechanist was defeated, and while they weren't killed, they retired from constructing robots. Instead, they spent their time hunting them down. In a sense, they completed their mission.
And so the tale of the sole survivor came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Commonwealth wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died, just like they had in the old world, because war
never changes.